we are in a day and age which is where we are pushing ourselves too much every single day. What I'm trying to tell you is just taking action is not enough for us to get results. We have to leverage the technology, right? We have to leverage it for the right reasons. We cannot shy away or we cannot push away the technology and say, this is too much for me. But we have to create our life, set our boundaries around so that we deal with it in the right way. The moment you start practicing it at least once or twice, let's say before you start your work and before you end the day, before you enter your house, if you do this, the quality of person that you're going to be showing up as will be very different. How many of you are ready to beat the overwhelm from this day onwards? Just type BIO, that's for bring it on, in the chat box, because I'm just going to be sharing some frameworks so that you can use it to kind of reclaim your presence. Okay, we are in a day and age which is where we are pushing ourselves too much every single day. So again, one of my goals and intentions is to not to overwhelm you, but to help you get started slow and steady and keep going on this path. Okay, so for that reason, let's get on a journey of beating overwhelm. By the way, how many of you have been feeling it, like Karthik, or the last 5 days, 7 days, 10 days? Can you just share a number in the chat box where you felt I was a little overwhelmed? I did not know what to work on. It was like too much to take on. Just give me a number. Last 10 days or last 7 days, like years. Okay, fine. So let's see how do we deal with that. Okay, let's see how do we deal with that. So okay, 10 out of 10, probably it's a little more. Okay, let's do that. Okay, I kind of sense that it's not like I have to sense it. We know it. This is the reality in this day and age. So let's break it down and understand it. So the first thing, in fact, I'm going to be giving you some practical ways to do it. So please follow along. Okay, please play along with me. So the first thing for all of us to know how to beat overwhelm is, everyone please type PC in the chat box. We have to start tracking the consumptions. And what's the biggest consumption that we have? What's that one thing which is kind of a mobile device, but it's always stuck to your body? Yeah, screen time, right? We all deal with this, right? So this is what happened. There was a marathon running. One guy was a Olympic level athlete. He was supposed to win the race, okay, the marathon. At the end of the finish line, he was not there. First one came, the second one crossed the line, third one, fourth one, and fifth, he crossed this line. He was a marathon runner, okay? So what they realized is it's not because he was not the top athlete, but because there was a turn left and right. Instead of turning left, this guy turned right and just went off. What I'm trying to tell you is just taking action is not enough for us to get results. Everyone, please type awareness in the chat box. The first step for anything for us to change it is awareness, right? How do we get rid of mobile? Will buying a dumb phone help? Well, I don't know if so. The thing is, we should not think of it as something which we have to kind of get rid of. We have to work through it. We are in a day and age where, see, we have to leverage the technology, right? We have to leverage it for the right reasons. We cannot shy away or we cannot push away the technology and say, this is too much for me. But we have to create our life, set our boundaries around so that we deal with it in the right way, so that we make the good use of the technology first. Okay, so let's see how do we do it. So awareness. So let's start tracking consumption from this day onwards. You don't, even if you don't do anything towards reducing your screen time, that's fine. Just this one thing is all I'm expecting all of you to start doing. Which device do you use, iOS or Android? Please share in the chat box. I just want to see what's the device that we all use. Okay, Android. Most of you are on Android. Okay, good. So in either of these platforms, okay, this is the activity we are going to be doing. Okay, this is the activity we're going to be doing. The first thing, we are going to track our screen time. And you don't have to do anything more. You just have to do this one time. Every time you can see what's the score for you. Okay. On Android, how many of you have this app called as Digital Wellbeing? Please type me in the chat box. If not, this is going to be your app. How many of you have this? Okay, you have it, right? So we're going to do this activity right now. I think it comes pre-installed on Android 11 or something like this. But even if you don't have it, you can install it through this link or search for Digital Wellbeing by Google themselves. All I want all of us to do now is you have an option to add widget, right? Add a widget on your home screen. Long press add widget, search for, scroll down to pick the Digital Wellbeing widget. Okay, please work on it. And if you are on iOS, I just got this blog post. Let me share it with you, through which you can also track your on-screen usage. Okay, let me share my screen. On iOS, this is how you track your screen time. Go to settings, screen time, and see all apps and websites activity. From here, you'll see daily how much time are you putting into your to use your screen. Okay, let me share this link with you. Can just bookmark it, and if you're on iOS, you can do this. But for now, if you have added the Digital Wellbeing widget, please type done in the chat box. And also please share what's the number you are seeing for the day. It'll already be counting in the background, but just that if you haven't added it, you won't see the number. Okay. Just add the widget. Okay. Mine is 152 today. Okay. That's the count it's showing. Screen time, that's the small widget here. It'll show here. If you got the time, just type. Okay, 2 hour 43. Okay. And as soon as you unlock your screen, that should be the first thing that you will get. Okay. 2 hour 26. Okay. Okay. They were still looking for it, I guess. Okay. It's good. Okay. Add it. Okay. Add on iOS and add check on Android. And that's the first thing that we have to constantly keep looking at. So now, how many of you are willing to mindfully reduce it? Just type me if you're ready to willfully, more than mindfully, I would want to call it willfully. It's an act of will to work on it. If you're ready for that, please type yes in the chat box. Okay, super. So let's do some action today, and let's see how do we. Uh, this is a self reflection that I want all of us to do. Okay, this is a self reflection. Okay, worked on it by deleting the unused app. Okay, super, wonderful. Please delete all the junk. The best way to not clutter your phone or your house is to, first of all, not to bring the clutter in the first place. Okay, don't bring in and then try to manage it. Don't even bring in the first place. Good to know that. So the action for all of us here today is this. Okay, self-reflection. I want all of us to think of how many of you have dream to achieve, dreams and goals and aspirations, career goals, life goals, all of that. Just type I do if you have it. Okay, Madhu has it. Okay, how about others? You have your dreams, goals, aspirations, everything, desires to achieve in your life. Okay, Deva has it. Super. You all have it, right? So now you're going to create a character out of these dreams, goals, aspirations, who you want to become, and all of that. It need not be exactly you. It can be some random character that you're going to be creating. Give it a size and shape and an avatar. Okay, it can be a dog, it can be yourself, you, the way you look, whatever it is. who has achieved those things and all of that. Give it an avatar and just type done in the chat box. Anything. It can be a cat, a dog, an enemy character, whatever you follow. Okay. Your own idol. By the way, who do you idolize? Who's your biggest idol? Please share it in the chat box. I also want to know that. Let's say you're given a magic wand, if you wave that wand, you will become that person. Who's that person for you? Who do you idolize kind of deeply? Okay, Madhu says my cousin. Okay, you idolize your cousin. Nice to know. Others, who's your idol? Like, is it Sachin Tendulkar or Ratan Tata, Elon Musk, the spiritual masters? Who's it for you? Okay, please share in the chat box. Okay, of course, VK, the king. Superb. So now I just want you to, every time, how many of you got it? Ravish, okay, Ravish is saying you, sir, but thank you. I don't know if I'm worthy of it, but thanks if you say that. So how many of you now have it as soon as you unlock and you see the number on your mobile? As soon as you unlock, you see the widget, the number on your mobile. It should not be in the screen number 7. No, on your first screen, home screen, you need to have the digital well-being widget. Okay. So every time you unlock, every time you see the screen time on your mobile, for Deva, it's like, think of Virat asking you this question. Madhu, think of your cousin asking you this question. Every time you unlock your mobile and look at that number, let's say, Deva, for you, if Virat Kohli were to ask, hey, Deva, that's good that you're checking your number on your mobile, how much screen time you had. Are you proud of every minute that you have spent on your mobile, whatever count it is showing thus far? If Virat were to ask you every time you unlock your phone and ask you this question, would you feel proud or will you not? If your cousin Madhu were to look at you 24/7 and ask you this question every time you unlock the phone, look at that number, would you be proud or will you not be? That's it. That's all I want you all to start off now. Your idol is watching you, and they are asking you this question. Are you actually proud of this time that you spent on your mobile? If you're proud, okay, go for it. Please do it. If not, it's time for you to reflect and kind of recalibrate your life, your career. Is it making sense? Just type yes. If you're going to ask, you don't have to act. You don't have to be that marathon runner, but you have to just be, self-reflecting and kind of creating that 1 degree shift. Okay, and everyone, please select everyone when you type the chat so that you all can read your chats. Okay, so that's all we have to do. That's all we have to do starting off. Self-reflect, become more aware. Okay, so every day, let's say, okay, forget every day. At least on a weekly basis, you have to look at your numbers. And let's say your idol shows up and says, are you really proud of this? If not, just stop doing it. That's it. As simple as that. Look at other things that will actually build you up than just constantly consuming. Because beating overwhelm starts with tracking your consumption. Okay, you have to track the consumption and stop it. It's like both of your hands are filled with food. Your mouth, you already have something you're chewing. Your plate is already filled with food. And someone gives you 2 more plates of food and says, hey, have more. This is for you. What's going to happen? Constant overwhelm, right? We cannot be constantly consuming. If you're constantly overwhelmed, cut out the consumption. Okay, for that you have to track it first. So how many of you are going to diligently and without missing going to track every single day. Just type me if you're going to do it. You're going to track the consumption. Okay. And then self reflect. Your biggest dreams and desires and goals and greatest idols are all watching around, and they are asking you this question: are you really proud? If I were to put this time on a banner in the busiest streets of Bangalore, that it will say Karthik spent 4 hours on his mobile today. If that were to be a banner that everyone would read on your street, will you be proud of it or not? If the answer is no, it's time to recalibrate life. That's the first thing. Okay. The second thing for all of you is this. As I told you, okay, once you're tracking it, you can take it slow. You don't have to jump into this. Take it slow. First 1 week awareness, then we'll see action. Okay. But here are the things that you can do. Cutting down on consumption. Can you let me give you the framework and then we'll share some ideas. Okay. The activity that I would love for all of us to do to cut out consumption is, everyone please type CUE in the chat box. Q. Removing the Q. We need to, if you don't want a habit to happen, you have to constantly pull it out of your vision. You have to remove the Q. You know how you can drink more water? How many of you know that you constantly you feel, I need to consume more water? Just type me if you feel it. Just type water if you feel it. You know how do you actually consume more water? How do you actually consume more water? By putting your water bottle in your vision. You know how do you consume even more water? Put a glass bottle where it says to your mind, hey, it's not just bottle, it's water. When your mind sees those cues constantly, and when it's easier for you to reach out to that, you tend to pick on that, and constantly when you repeat it, it becomes a habit for you. So if you want to create that, put the cue. If you don't want that habit, remove it from your vision, from your, don't let that cue happen for you. So you know what I do? A simplest thing that I do, although I have my mobile next to me, not always, most of the time it's not, but the way I remove the cue from my mobile is, actually I do this. I take my a cloth or handkerchief, something, I put it on it, place it in the same place. I saw that it got reduced by 30% the number of times I picked and unlocked the screen. Why? Because the cue was not there. If you don't want to pick it too much, remove it from the environment. Or uh, can I give you a crazy thing that you all can do? If you don't want to use it's like too much of accountability, but still, let me tell you, ask someone else, like it can be your spouse or someone else, your friend, to set a lock pattern for you, and every time you want to use it, you have to go to them to get it unlocked. Just FYI, you don't have to do it, but if you want to make it very difficult for you to open it, you can also do that. But hey, let's start easy. Remove, everyone please type remove the queue in the chat box. That's the easiest thing where we all can do to, first of all, reduce the consumptions. Okay. There's just a few days you have to feel like, okay, what does it actually feel to not take my mobile phone to the meetings? What does it feel to not have my mobile phone right next to me on my dining table? Become curious about that. Okay. How many of you are going to try this? Just type me in the chat box. Simply remove that cue. Now, like when you remove the queue, you will find, oh, I have a little bit more time now. Let's say even if 10 minutes got reduced, okay, let's say out of the 4 hours that you are using currently your mobile, let's say 2.5 hours, even if you get that 10 minutes back for yourself, what are you going to do? What do we do during breaks? During every break, what do we do? Pick a mobile, see what's up, check Instagram, see what the dog is doing. Well, the dog, of course, is maybe a cute puppy. Your like and love for the dog can wait. You don't have to always check Insta, check all the things to just keep consuming information. So what do we do? I'm going to be giving you some ideas here. Okay. Uh, then we will see what else that we can do next. Yeah. So these are the points which I already shared. I just want to share it in through the mind map as well. Think of this. Okay. How do you remove your digital distractions from your site? So first remove it from your site, like visually, auditory, both the things, reduce it. Only have calls, the callback tone coming in for your contacts. You can also do that on most of the mobiles. And all the other calls that you get, you can put it on do not disturb mode so that you get call from your contact, but not from all the other random calls. Okay. If you got it, just type yes in the chat box. So now you can think of what else would you cue yourself towards. This is the next level from here. Okay, so now I don't want to use my mobile. I have the mobile next to me, but it's closed. I don't have the cue right now. Right? But what else can you do? What else can you cue yourself towards? That's the next phase here. You want to read a book? That's awesome. Put a whatever book you want to read next to you. Let that become your cue. Put a affirmation, kind of a sheet next to you. Let that become your cue. When you get that time, you don't have to again go and unlock your mobile. Get back to digital stuff. Read those affirmations. Read a half page of that book. Close it and get back to your stuff. Okay. So what do you think you can do? What else can you cue yourself towards so that you don't just remove the digital things, but also add some other habit into that, into your daily routine? Please share it in the chat box. What do you think you can do? Let's socially learn from each other here. Please share some thoughts that you have right now. Okay, so that becomes the second part of cutting down the consumption. So you removed something, but you added something that's more useful for you. If you're getting this, just type yes in the chat box. And also think of what other ways can you cue yourself towards? Okay, just type yes if you got it. So that's the second point I wanted to share with all of you. And the third point, a very important point, if you're feeling overwhelmed constantly, yeah, now you're probably working on reducing the consumption and all that, but it's very, very important that we also work on, everyone please type R and R in the chat box. Everyone please type R and R in the chat box. That's going to be your rest and recovery. Okay. Uh, Rest and recovery doesn't happen when we fall sick. Rest and recovery is not a thing when you're burnt out. Rest and recovery, it's like an F1 car that constantly is going around in the track. If you think, okay, after this season, let me change the tire, what do you think is going to happen? After the race ends, let me try thinking of refueling the car. What do you think is going to happen? The car will stop on the racetrack, right? Somewhere. So just like that, you have to treat yourself as literally like an F1 car, which needs downtime, maintenance, refueling, re-energizing, and all that. If you got it, just type yes. Okay, so let's work on that as well right now. Okay, let's work on that. So what do you do here? So when you get any breaks, I just want to, I want all of us to set this alarm right now. Can you tell me what's that most busiest time in a day? At work or even otherwise, what is that most busiest time that you have every single day? Give me that 1 hour slot where you think like it's such a busy time for me. Usually, what is it for you? Is it 9 to 10, 10 to 11? Which 1 hour is like crazily busy for you every day? Okay, 12:30 to 1:30 for Madhu. Which is that slot? Just think of it. Okay, scrum calls, all of that. Okay, please share. Okay, which is that slot which is like you kind of feel it's too much for me every single day, right? So let's say if immediately after such a call, I would, if 12:30 to 1:30 is that call for you, if 10 to 11:30 is that call for you, this is what I would want all of you to do now. Madhu, for you, 1:30, let's say 1:32, set an alarm on your phone, which has to go off every single day. Do it as I'm saying this. Deva, for you, maybe 11:32, set an alarm on your phone. Let it go off every single day. And this has to be the label on that alarm. Label it as rest and recovery. Please do it, everyone. This is going to be a life-changing thing for all of us. So please work on it seriously. Do it as we're talking now. That specific interval in a day, which is too crazy, like it's too much of a push. Immediately after that, set an alarm which says and label it as rest and recovery. Do it and just type done in the chat box. I'll wait for you because this is a very, very important thing. If you don't do it now, you will probably not do it later also. So I just want to make sure you all do it now. Okay, Madhu, it's done. It's a daily alarm which has to go on from now till you change your job or till the time slot changes. Okay, it has to go on every single day. Go off. Okay, super. I hope you have also labeled it as rest and recovery. So once that happens, when this alarm goes off, what should we do? We have to create a micro performance habit. We have to work on a micro performance habit called as, everyone please type RM in the chat box. Okay, it's not about call. My team is in another, okay, for me, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. is very important as the log off at the time. So I feel myself exhausted. Okay, that's fine. So whatever time is you feel like is the crash, okay, set that alarm. It can be multiple alarms for the day. It need not be one alarm. In fact, that's why I've actually put it as 3 alarms, but let's start with one. 3 3-minute alarms, okay? It's a 3-minute slot that you get back for yourself. What do you do then? Let's do a release meditation technique now. Okay. I want one of you to volunteer here with me. Please type me. I will add you to the panelist. I will just guide you through that technique and everyone follow along with me here. Any volunteer, just type me in the chat box. I'll add you. We'll do this meditation. And okay, Madhu, I'm just adding you. I'm promoting you as panelist. Please be on camera here with me. Let's do this technique. And I want you to set this as routine for the rest of your life. Okay, routine for the rest of your life. Superb. Let's all welcome Madhu. Just type welcome Madhu in the chat box. Superb. So Madhu, if you can hear me, you can just be on camera and unmute yourself. I can see you now. Welcome Madhu. What's up? How are you doing? Superb. I'm asking you to unmute so you can unmute yourself. So let's do this activity, okay? So Madhu, this called the release meditation. So when you're going too fast through the day, when the alarm goes off, stop, take a pause, and I'll just going to guide you through that. Everyone, please follow along. So just Madhu, you can just close your eyes, take a deep breath in through the nose. Everyone, just follow along, all right? In through the nose and out through the mouth. Everyone, keep your eyes closed. In through the nose, deep breath, out through the mouth. And you're just going to give yourself some instructions now, okay? And the instruction is to release. That's it. You're just going to keep saying release, release in your mind, and you're just going to release that stress, that build up, that pressure, that expectation, those everything that you want to do, everything you're going to just release for the next 1 to 1.5 minutes, and then we will get back. Okay, I'll just going to prompt you. Everyone follow along, and we'll do it for the next 1 minute. Release, 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 release. Do deep breaths when you do that. Release, 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 release. Just think of the stress going off. Just remove the stress from the head. All the pressure, all the buildup happened through the last 1 hour. Release, release. Just continue it in your mind for the next 1/2 minute, 30 seconds. Do it in your mind. Repeat, release. Everyone just follow along. And 3, 2, 1, back. Slowly open your eyes. Yes. Just share how you're feeling right now, Madhu.
Yeah, I'm actually feeling empty now. So the stress got reduced, I feel. So feeling good.
Everyone, how is that for you? How did you feel? Okay, relaxed. Okay, sure. They will just do that. Okay, light, relaxed, mind feels clear. Now, just Madhu, just imagine you doing this even once in a day, or let's say twice in a day. How would you feel about the state of your energy?
Yeah, it will be more for sure. The energy will be more.
Energy will be more. And what would happen if we all, before we enter our house, how many of you leave your slippers outside? It's time we also leave the mental junk outside before we step into our house. How do you do it? Release. As simple as it might sound, the moment you start practicing it at least once or twice, let's say you before you start your work and before you end the day, before you enter your house, if you do this, the quality of person that you're going to be showing up as will be very different. So, Madhu, if you have your alarm set, it's going to go off every day. Give me a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yes, set.
Yes.
Everyone, please type, well done, Madhu. More power to you. Thanks for playing along. Thanks for volunteering. It's going to add you back to the panelists. Thank you, Madhu.
Yeah,
Add you
thank
back
you.
to the thing. Yes. Okay. So there we go. So with that note, what we're going to be just doing right now is, yeah, set that alarm, let it go off. When it goes off, it's your literally, I want you to think of yourself as a Olympic athlete. Okay, you need that rest and recovery because we are too much in a fast-paced world. Superb. So with that note, how many of you are feeling relaxed? Just like me. Stay energized, rest, relax, and recover. Thank you so much. Let's have a great week ahead. Bye bye. Take care.